Good afternoon, and this is our January cooking show from Franklin Memorial Library, where we are kind of highlighting some of the cookbooks that we have here in the library. And we've done some cookings for Christmas last month. This month, I have one favorite cookbook that I have just found. This one is called Six Sisters. It literally started as a blog of sisters that had kind of scattered throughout the Southeast United States and were swapping their mother's recipes and recipes that they had found as they got married and started having children. And the blog ended up so popular that they have written this cookbook, and they also have one that is of Christmas recipes. But our library does have this one, although it does get checked out quite a bit. One of the recipes we're doing today is from that cookbook. And then we have one that's from our Southern Living magazine that most of us down here know about. And this is where the second soup is going to be from. And that's what we're doing for January because it's kind of cold off and on. It's not that cold today, but it's going to be cold by Friday. So that's where our two recipes are coming from. But take the time to come by the library. We are open again and have browsing available, so you can come in and look for our cookbooks. The first recipe that we're going to do is kind of a riff on tomato soup that your children would like, and melted or toasted cheese sandwiches. Only we're going to combine it all into one. So the ingredients that we're going to need is we're going to need a can of crushed tomatoes. We'll put that in a pot. We've already got it on. And then we've got 2 cans of tomato bisque or any condensed tomato soup. Put that in there. Second can. See, something that we'd always done, it says on the back of any of the tomato soup, condensed soups, whether it's regular tomato or the tomato bisque, and the only thing different about tomato bisque, it has little chunks of tomato in it. It says on the back to add a can of water because it is condensed. And that's something that growing up, my family never did. We always used milk instead of using the water in it. It just made it richer. It just made it tastier. It just was just warmer. Okay, so we've got 2 cans of the condensed soup, got a can of crushed tomatoes. Then we have a cup of whipping cream, which just makes it that much richer. Put that in there. There we go. Okay, and a little bit of pepper, not too much. Say about 1/4 teaspoon is in the recipe. Normally we would use fresh ground pepper, but cart all of this from the house. So what we've got, and we've got some basil. Basil in there, and about a teaspoon. That's something that you can go ahead and put the basil in and then just taste it. Depends on how strong of basil that you want in your soup. And if you have some basil that's growing in your kitchen or out on your back porch, that would be lovely. Okay, so we're going to mix that all together. Mix that cream in. I'm going to turn our heat up just a little bit. And it does take a few more minutes for it to heat because it is an electric stove. And once this comes up to a nice warm temperature, which it is not yet, you don't want to scorch it, so don't be in a hurry. So there you've got your nice thick tomato soup. And then what you're going to do is, instead of serving this with your melted cheese sandwich, you're going to put your melt the cheese right into the soup. So what we have is we have some refrigerated torrentini. And this is cheese filled. We're going to put those into the soup. Let those simmer as the soup heats through and it's nice and hot. Children should just love this because they've got their cheese and their pasta and their nice tomato soup all in one. So we're going to let that heat through, and I'm going to switch pans over here so we can see a little bit better. That warm. Okay, and then we're going to start on our second soup. We're going to turn it up, and we want a little bit of shortening or oil. You could also use olive oil if you prefer, and a little bit of butter. And we're going to saute some chopped onion and some green pepper. The second soup is from the Six Sisters cookbook. And what this is a 5-bean soup. And you can make it with chicken stock, which is what I have today. If you want to make it vegetarian, you can use vegetable stock. And you could, of course, make your own vegetable stock. That would be wonderful. So, got the, I'm going to put in chopped onion. Started. Waiting for us to get onions. Wouldn't that be nice? If you have any suggestions, we do have February coming up. I've thought about maybe vegetables and doing some fun things with vegetables. If you can think of something, just send us something on Facebook. And I would love to hear from you if you have some ideas. February and March. Love to have a spring coming. And we've got, spring vegetables. And give that just a minute. We're going to go over here and stir our orange jelly. And okay, nice. Okay, and this is just so very simple because once you have the onions and the green pepper browned, you're going to take just a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. About a quarter teaspoon. Okay, and then you can choose any type of beans you want to choose. I just kind of went to the grocery store and picked out ones that look totally different. You could cut up some bacon and fry a little bit of bacon in with your onions and your green pepper if you like. If you want a little hint of bacon. Okay, we have some lima beans. And I did drain these, especially and garbanzo beans or chickpeas. A can of cannellini beans. Those are just really pretty. You could also use the white navy beans, but those are really big, and I just like the cannellini beans are just so tender. They're just so pretty and tender. Okay, a can of Black beans adds to the color of your soup. And like red kidney beans, you could use the darker kidney beans. You could also use pinto beans if you like. Okay, mix those all up. And then we're going to put in our chicken stock or vegetable stock, whichever one you would like to use. And you can let this simmer so that all the flavors all meld together. I'm going to put in a little bit of garlic powder. Now we do have these recipes here at the library if you want a copy. Go slow enough that you can. And have a very small can of tomato sauce. It will kind of thicken it up just a little bit. This is an 8-ounce can. All right, and we're going to just stir that all together. And when you get ready to serve this, you want to let it simmer for about 20 minutes so all of the flavors all meld together. And you can serve it with a little bit of sour cream on the top and some chives. You can put some Parmesan cheese on the top. And you can have tortilla chips. Good. I'm going to see if this is quite ready. We'll go ahead and at least serve out a little bit so you can see what it looks like. Let's see that it has a pretty color. Maybe we can see. And we will have our camera person over here, and this is our tomato and tortilla soup. It does have just a little bit longer to cook. But I hope you enjoy this nice cool weather that we've been having, and just garnish the way, just how you feel. You can still have toasted cheese sandwiches. So join us next month. And like I said, I think we're going to probably do some very wonderful, fabulous vegetables. So take care and bye-bye.